friends. Welcome to Miss Healy's Kitchen. Today in math, we're going to be reviewing fractions that we did before spring break. And we are going to be talking about how you can put those fractional pieces back into a whole. And I thought, what better way to do that than to do it with food in the kitchen? So let's review first what fractions are. So if you remember, fractions show equal parts of a whole. They show equal parts of something. And today we're going to be talking about a quick review of dividing or partitioning a circle or a rectangle into halves, thirds, or fourths. Now halves are 2 equal pieces, thirds are 3 equal pieces, and fourths are 4 equal pieces. And we've done some practice with that in circles and rectangles. So let's look at what that would look like with food. So we're going to start off with a lemon. And we're starting with, hopefully you can see that, we're going to divide the lemon in half. And I'll take some close-up pictures of these so you can see them, and I'll put them in the video towards the end so you can see an up-close picture. But we're going to cut a lemon in half, and we're going to have half, and then we're going to have the other half, and then we have, if we put those halves together, we have 2 halves, which is 2 over 2, and that equals 1 whole. Let me show you what that looks like. So I've got my whole lemon here, and I'm going to cut it in half. And now I have 2 pieces. So this is 1/2 of the lemon. This is the other half of the lemon. So if I'm talking about the numerator, the 2 halves going back together, there are 2 pieces, but I'm talking about both of them. They're making up one whole. So we'll take a picture of that later so you can see an up close version. It's hard to hold it up. Okay. Next up, we're going to talk about thirds. So, I've got a new plate. Now remember we said thirds have how many pieces? 3, correct. So, I have got some food item that I am going to split into thirds. So I'm going to have 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. But when I smush those pieces back together, I'm talking about 3 thirds, 3 over 3, which is equal to 1 whole. So I thought an easy thing to do would be, this is a tricky one, to use a waffle, good old frozen waffle. So remember when we're dividing circles into thirds, we have to do that little trick. That side's a little crispy. We have to do that little trick where we find the middle. So I'm going to put my finger right in the middle, just as a good reminder. And then I'm going to cut down to that middle. And then I'm going to try my best to make 3 equal parts. And here they are, 3 equal parts. Now if I put those on my plate, and I put my 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 back together, it makes a whole. But that whole is made up of 3 parts. So we're talking about 3 parts out of 3 parts equals 1 whole. All right, next up, we're going to do one more. And this one is going to be tricky to fit on the plate. But this is going to be a fruit that is going to be divided into fourths. And remember, fourths is 4 equal pieces. So when we cut the fruit into 4 equal pieces, we will have 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. When we put those back together, we will have 4 fourths, which equals 1 whole. So let's look at what that looks like. We've just got an apple, and I'm going to cut it in half first. Goodness. There we go. And then I'm going to cut each half again. And we're just doing the best we can to make these equal. They're not going to be 100% perfect, but we're just going to do the best that we can. Okay, so we have 4 equal pieces, equal-ish pieces, And if we put those 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4 back together, let me see if I can do that. We still have, they're still divided into 4 pieces, but when we put them back together, they're 4/4, which equals a whole. So let me show you. It's going to be a little tricky to hold this up, but I'll take a better picture and put it in the slideshow. So 4/4 equals a whole. Okay, so now it's going to be your turn. If you don't have a piece of paper, you may want to grab a piece of paper. You can also do this out loud if you would like to. We're going to do the same thing, and I'm going to tell you what fraction I want you to divide this shape in. I think these will be pretty easy for you. So we're going to start off with a stick of cheese. So I've got my stick of cheese for you. I would like you to pause the video and show me what it would look like to divide a stick of cheese, a cheese stick, into 3 equal parts. And then I want you to label each part like I did here with 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. And then I'd like you to write what the whole equals. So how many over how many when you put it all back together. So pause the video and try that out. Okay, so what I did with my cheese stick is the best I could, I am partitioning or dividing into 3 equal parts. So this would be 1/3, this would be 1/3, and this would be 1/3. When I put these 3 back together, hopefully you saw that it was 3 pieces out of 3 pieces. So you have it written like this, which equals 1 whole because we started with this big piece. All right, get ready to pause the video again. What you're gonna do this time is we're gonna do 4ths. I've got a granola bar. What I'd like you to do is just draw a quick picture of what this granola bar looks like, and then I want you to do the same thing. You're gonna divide this into 4ths, so 4 equal pieces. Each piece is going to say 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, and then I want you to say what the whole thing is worth, what the whole is worth. So pause the video and give that a try. Okay, so we are showing 4/4 today. We have 1 whole, but now I'm going to cut it into 4ths. It's a little tricky to cut. And then each of these should have been labeled 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. But when I put them back together, it's the whole granola bar that it was before. So you should have also written 4/4 beside it, which equals the whole. Okay, we have one more to do, and this one's going to be the easy one. I have a little, I don't even know what you want to call this, a little snack bar. What you're going to do is divide this in half. So you're going to do this, what we did before, 2 equal pieces. It's kind of a square shape, kind of rectangular, kind of more square though. And you're going to divide it into halves. And then you're going to label the halves 1/2, 1/2, and then tell me what the whole is worth. So pause the video, draw that picture, and label it. Okay, hopefully you cut yours in half, and you could have actually done it either direction, vertically or horizontally. But I had a hole, I cut it into 2 equal pieces. This is worth 1/2, and this is worth 1/2. When I put them back together, I have 2 halves, which equals 1 whole. The trick to this, friends, is just to remember that anytime you see a fraction with the same number on the top and the same number on the bottom, that means it's 1 whole because we're talking about the same number of pieces that we have. So in just a moment, you're going to have your own turn to do a little practice activity, and that's going to be in the link that's on the lesson plan page. I'm also going to include close-up pictures of all these food items so you can see what they look like a little bit better. I hope you had a great day, and I hope that you had fun in our kitchen.